Be blessed by Minister Keith Dobbins with Your Great Name.
Yeah. We love to call your name. It's something we cannot explain. That happens when we proclaim your great name, your great name. We love to call your name. Call your name. It's something we cannot explain. That happens, yeah, when we proclaim your great name. Your great name is, oh yeah. In the name of Jesus, power in your name, yeah.
There's power in the name of Jesus.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Power in the name. Oh, there is power in the name of. There is so much power, so much power, so much power. Things change when we call you. Things change when we call.
Say it, say it.
Something
All I need is you. All I need is you.
Welcome back. I am so excited to host some of the great leaders in the kingdom, and I am here with none other than one of the forerunners, the trailblazers of this season, Pastor Jamal Bryant. Welcome to Atlanta Live.
Thank you. It's an honor. Thank you for having me.
It's an honor to talk with you. You are one of the trailblazers in the kingdom, and as you have come to Atlanta, you've seen so many changes over the past few years, but now, unprecedented, we're facing this post-pandemic or trying to get out of the pandemic season. What are you seeing that is the new normal for the church?
I think that the church is going through puberty, meaning it's trying to find its voice.
Okay.
Its skin is breaking out. Is that, in the words of my grandmother, we're having to smell ourselves.
Oh, my goodness.
Because we are evolving into what we don't know, what it's going to look like. Making the shift is one thing, but forced to shift is something else. Nobody would have ever imagined 16 months ago that 16 months later, the majority of Atlanta churches are still virtual.
Yes.
We thought it'd be 6 weeks. We thought by Labor Day.
Exactly.
And here we are headed to New Year's Eve again.
Yeah.
And so we have been forced into this shift, which I think, quite frankly, is the only way we would have ever done it.
Now, some people are saying, and you know, inside and outside of the faith community, that how could God cause or allow so many people to lose their lives?
Yes.
And it's really caused a backlash, if you will, for people of faith, because we're, you know, faced with, okay, we don't know who we are, we don't know what God is doing.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that as a faith leader?
It's amazing because COVID challenges faith. Because COVID, Dr. Hairston, comes with no evidence. It comes with no sign.
What does that mean?
Is that you could have COVID and I not know. In the same way, you can get healed from it and not know.
Okay.
So more often than not, when we see Jesus's interactions with a leper whose extremities are falling off, it's with a blind man who now can see, it's with a woman with an issue of blood who can check.
Yes.
But with COVID, people can be walking with it and not know it, and as a consequence, whether you're Pentecostal or apostolic or evangelical, nobody has had a healing service.
Okay.
Yeah, we can't find them anywhere.
Okay.
But this is where we have to trust God without the evidence.
Yeah.
And just believe it. So yes, 675,000 people have died of COVID.
Yes.
But look at how many more alive. So different from the bubonic plague. There were droves of us who walked around with no mask and still weren't contaminated.
Yes.
Who were not intentional about washing hands, but are not incubated and not on oxygen. As reckless as our community has been, God's sustaining power has still much more abounded us with grace.
And so for the believer, and you as a leader, as a pastor,
Yes.
do you preach differently now than pre-COVID?
I do, because I'm preaching to a screen and not to seats.
Wow.
And so people's ears are more attentive. Are you saying something? Really, because in pandemic preaching cannot be laced in emotionalism.
Yes.
It has to have information. So it's not turn to your neighbor. It's not shake somebody by the hand.
Right.
Give two people a high five.
Okay.
I am watching it in my living room alone.
Yeah.
And I want to know, is there really a bright side somewhere? I want to know about this Bible that you're talking about. So I think people have matured in the faith because COVID stripped us of the theater of church. And so it's not lights, camera, action, but it's the substance of things hoped for.
So when you talk to people who are believers, that's one side of this.
Yes.
But now, because of internet, social media, and all these other things that you're privy to, you are now talking to a lot of people who are not believers.
Yes.
What is the message, or is it the same message?
I think that we've got to go back to basics. We've got to go away from presumption of biblical knowledge. And so one of the things that has happened in the last 25 years that you have marked through your publication is the spawn or the growth of mega churches.
Yes.
What happened, Dr. Hairston, in the growth of mega churches, we lost denomination affiliation. So people in the last 20 years, your grandmother's generation, my grandmother's generation went to St. Luke, they went to Bethel, they went to Mount Sinai, and I need you to hear with intention the language of this generation. I go to Steve Furtick. I go to Jake's. I go to Jamal Bryant. I go to Dale Bronner. And never mention the name of the church. What has happened in the internet, because of that, people lost what was their foundational understanding. So we knew growing up the difference between a Baptist and a Koji. We knew why AMEs weren't going to the PAW church. We thinned the lines of denomination, which made us to diminish what was our foundation. So it was just a praising church or a non-praising church. What this virtual church has caused us to do is to do more teaching about what we believe. It's apologetics of what it is that we stand for, what we defend. And so I think that the church is now more discerning in its taste and in its hearing.
Well, discerning in taste and hearing is I think, very, very clear, and you can focus in on that. But I think you say something that is very, very important for us to hear and to understand, that in this season, we're now dealing with charismatic personalities more than ever. That is a good and a bad. That is a challenge and an opportunity. What, have we gotten to the place now where the mega church pastor is such a great personality that whatever he says becomes a doctrine?
No, I would have agreed with you 10 years ago. I think what it is that we have seen is the mega churches of this hour are not completely built on preaching. They are now built on ministries. What do you offer my kids? But isn't that based on your character as a leader? In a sense, but the mega church really is Walmart and not the bodega. It's about all that you have to offer. And a lot of mega churches, the pastor is not thrusted up front, especially here in Atlanta. But what the church does, how they are serving, how they're meeting the needs, how it is that they're being available and accessible is what's causing it to mushroom. So I think we've got 6 in one hand and half a dozen in another.
So how has that changed? And how have you met the needs? I know that you are feeding, you are doing all these other things, but you're also having services, aren't you?
Online.
So you're not physically back in church.
No. I don't. Our soft potential re-entry is New Year's Eve.
I see.
But the numbers are just too far off. And if I go into church, I'll be on CNN tonight. So I didn't want to risk it, and I wanted us to be good stewards. The reality is social distancing is only effective in non-charismatic churches.
Then how do you measure growth? Because the whole proselytizing goal is growth, growing sinners into believers.
I think that we have to recalibrate how we are growing. So for New Birth Cathedral, where I pastor, we take in 56 new members a week. With no right hand to fellowship. They're joining online. And this is how you have to look at it. For the last 7 Christmases, there has been a seismic shift on how people do Christmas shopping. Do they go to the mall or do they have to get it online? And the majority now are getting all of their Christmas stuff online. The church is always running behind. The data shows it. That culture changes every 4 years. But church culture changes every 20. So most churches are 15 years behind schedule. So Dr. Hairston, the average church that's watching us today is patting themselves on the back because they on Facebook. but their kids are on TikTok. And you can't find the church on TikTok.
Right.
And so we're always trying to run ahead. You would know much better than I. It's only in gospel music that music stays on the billboard for a year. No other hip-hop, not even jazz, not even elevator music. It's gospel music right now without me looking at the charts. Kirk Franklin got 2 songs on there, and he don't have no album. That can only happen in gospel music. You know, there's a great controversy now because Kanye West has made history. He's got 7 songs on the gospel charts, and everybody's mad. But no artist put out a project.
Well, and
so you got to deal with all of it.
And nobody has built a fan base.
Oh, there we are.
Exactly.
Yeah. So.
But nobody had the money behind it, like
all of that, all of those things. But I think churches are growing, but they're growing in unconventional ways that we don't know. So we're used to, you and I, come, won't you come?
Yes.
Is there one coming down the aisle? They're not coming down the aisle, they're clicking.
So when you do hit this milestone of coming back, whether it's New Year's Eve or sometime
Easter.
after that,
Yes.
What will be different about how you do church?
I think a church will have to be done hybrid. If, Teresa, it takes 30 days to create a habit, and I've been out of church for 16 months. What then is the enticer for me to get up, get dressed, get my baby ready, pack fruit snacks in a Capri Sun, drive for 30 minutes, and try to make little boo-boo sit down?
Exactly.
I can't do it. People have acclimated to praise, pajamas, and pancakes.
Oh, I love it.
That I can do all of this at home, and I ain't even got to wash.
Pancakes.
Absolutely.
I'm into
so I think that what we have to do, our team is trying to figure out how do we now offer church in person but not lose this underground railroad that we have built of those who are now preferring to come on.
And one more thing on that, and then we'll shift. But okay, so you got the hybrid, you've got the the internet, the social media. What about the building? This physical monstrosity, these beautiful edifices that now are half empty all the time. What is there now a multi-use kind of mentality?
You answer that, you will have a Nobel Prize. Our church holds over 6,000 people.
And
I
one of the
tell my
largest in the
leaders,
nation.
I told my leaders, we're going to have to swallow hard cod liver oil on the reality that we may never see this full again. Because of the amount of people that are going to watch online. And so we have to think on how we repurpose and how we reimagine.
And so what's the answer?
I'm going to say it only because I love and trust you. That I think that we are getting ready to witness the last generation of mega churches. I don't think people are going to build at that scale or that capacity because people are working from home, they're shopping from home, and I don't think in droves people are going to do it. Now, I could be wrong, but I would be amazed if we come out of this and somebody asks you for a building
announcement.
fund. I think that's what I think.
Pronouncement.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, so speaking of in-person, online, social, all of those things, you are hosting October 13th through 15th, the Global United Fellowship annual international confab at New Birth Baptist Church. And in the midst of this Delta variant rise and just all of this, is that what we should be doing, going to physical buildings and having conferences?
Absolutely. Global United Fellowship, our presiding bishop is Bishop Neil Ellis, who's headquartered in Nassau, Bahamas. We have some 1,400 churches in 13 countries. So, yes, it is at New Birth, in the studio.
Oh, okay.
So,
I got that.
So we are broadcasting live to
so
all of our people. Oh, it's still going to be hybrid.
Okay.
The only people who will be in that studio will be his executive council of bishops, their wives, their immediate leaders, and let me add, all of them must be vaccinated. So it's a grand total of 75 people.
I see.
So all of Bishop's conferences in the past have been in person.
I see.
Last year we had none. And so this is, I think, the markings of what the future church is going to look like.
So what are the kinds of things beside the masking and the social distancing that will be, you know, you're setting now precedent for how conventions and conferences
Yes.
will be done.
Yes.
And what are some of the other things? I mean, is the messaging going to be different? I mean, before we used to just love to come to conferences and just enjoy the fellowship and hugging and all of that.
Dr. Hairston, you've been going to conferences more years than I'm going to speak out loud. But what I'll say is, because of hybrid, we're able to do things that you and I could have never done at MegaFest. For example, after a symposium, we're taking those lecturers and speakers to another room to do Q&A.
Wow.
A conference of that size, if you get them to say something while they signing your book, you have struck gold. But to have that level of interaction is only an access that technology could afford us.
Okay.
We're doing things that we've never been able to do before. Ordinarily, it would be a youth component. What we're going to do is a digital college tour.
Wow.
Where we're going to take young people to see the different colleges around the state of Georgia without them ever leaving home.
Okay.
We're going to give them breakaway sessions where they're going to go to the King Center without anybody ever getting on a bus, with them interacting with Dr. Bernice King. We're going to have greetings from the Vice President of the United States, who ordinarily would not have been at our church convention, but is able to do it. And so those kind of luxuries that technology is spoiling us with.
We need to own some technology.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yes.
In faith-based technology, whatever.
Whatever it is, I'm going in behind you. Whatever you invest in, take my $25 check. I'm going right with you. Absolutely.
Pastor Jamal Bryant, you are a trailblazer, my friend. I really admire all that you have done, are doing, and I think you said some things here that are really, really going to hit the body of Christ hard.
Oh, yes.
We needed to hear.
You may have to give me security after this. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being our guest. And just New Birth, and well, we can watch it online.
Yes, at newbirth.org, October 13th through the 17th.
October 13th through the 17th.
Yes.
Okay, on newbirth.org.
Yes.
And we can always watch New Birth online at the same location,
on Facebook, on YouTube. And
TikTok.
we're Instagram Live. We're on all, not TikTok, but we getting there.
You on Lifetime? Oh,
no. In another life, yes.
Pastor, I love you. Thank you so
love
much.
You more than that. I appreciate
God bless you. And we'll be back after this musical selection.
Who can stand against the Lord? No one can, and no one will. Who can stand against our King? No one can, and no one will. Victory belongs to Jesus. Victory belongs to Him. Victory belongs to Jesus. Victory belongs to Him. Who can stand? Nobody can. No one can. No one will. Who can stand? Against the King? You. No one. No one. Jesus. Yeah. So go ahead and give him the praise. Jesus. So put my trust in you. Put my hope in you. You will, your provider. Yeah, my victory. Hey. Oh Lord, ever we win. Ain't nobody else but you. Hey, you will. You're a provider. Forever we win. Everybody say, oh, it belongs to him. And nobody else. I'm so glad he got me. I'm so glad he's holding me. I'm so glad he got me in the hollow of his hand. Now come on, everybody, just give him some glory. Right where you are. If you know he's been there for you, if he's held you up in the midnight hour, if he's held your hand and wiped the tears from your eyes, go ahead and give him the glory. Come on and give him the praise, y'all. To Jesus. Hey, I love you, Lord. You heard my cry, Lord. Hallelujah. Ooh. Whoa. Jesus. To you. Oh yeah. I glorify you. I give you honor, Lord. Jesus. How sweet your name is. Hallelujah. You hear my cry. Pity every groan. I worship you. All the glory and the honor belong to you. Give you glory, Lord, and I bless your name. Hallelujah. You are the Holy King, and your kingdom is forever. All belongs to you.
Hey, New Birth, it's time for our video announcements. New Birth, are you ready to become an agent of change? To prepare for our Bond 700 giving campaign on Sunday, October 24th, take these 7 steps today. Step 1, pray about your commitment level, $7,000, $1,700, $700, or $70, or your best bond seed ending in 7. Step 2, make your commitment. Text NB Bond 700 to 71441 or visit wearenewbirth.org/Bond 700. Step 3, join our Bond 700 7-minute prayer call every Tuesday morning at 7 a.m. Dial in using the number below. Step 4, join us weekly as Dr. Bryant ministers his new series, Word is Bond. Step 5, begin fulfilling your commitment at wearenewbirth.org/give and select Bond 700 giving campaign. Step 6, pray daily about your covenant with God and others. Step 7, be of service to God and others. Through your sacrificial giving, we can change lives, we can change communities, and we can change the world. Coming soon, Bond 700 merch will be available at our Call to Conquer bookstore. Also, pick up a copy of the Book of the Month, Tribes by Seth Godin. For your convenience, our Call to Conquer bookstore is open Tuesday through Thursday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., and every Saturday from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Please visit calledtoconquer.com for convenient online shopping. Also, please join the Book of the Month online virtual meeting on Tuesday, September 26th from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Please visit wearenewbirth.org for more information. New Birth is partnering with Fully Furnished Ministries to provide donated furniture to families in need. Pull up and our volunteers will collect your items from your vehicles. On Saturday, September 25th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. We will accept all furniture, bedding, small appliances, dishes, silverware, kitchen utensils, and home decorations. New Birth, save the date. It's time to pull up and worship again. Join us on our campus on Sunday, September 26th at 9:30 a.m. Our special guest will be the amazing Pastor Mike Jr. After the celebration, you can get a COVID vaccine. We will be offering vaccines from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. in our Family Life Center. Please bring your friends and your family. As we prepare to take the Lord's Supper on Sunday, October 3rd, please pull up and pick up your communion elements on Saturday, October 2nd from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Join the conversations on virtual therapy on Thursdays, October 7th, 14th, 21st, and 28th from 7:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. We have invited top leading clinical and professional therapists to share how to work on your mind in challenging times. Please visit wearenewbirth.org/events to register. And that's going to do it for today's